Hello and welcome. TVS has just launched a brand new motorcycle. It's called the Ronin, R-O-N-I-N. Now you can see there are three variants in all. We have two variants here. That's the base variant with a single tone color scheme, single channel ABS. This one is the mid variant, dual tone colors with single channel ABS. The top spec variant also with triple colors and dual channel ABS standard. Now, from the way the Ronin looks, it's a mix of a modern classic and a scrambler style motorcycle really, because it's got features like thick block pattern tires. It's got a standard bash plate, although it's plastic, not metal, but those are characteristics of a more scrambler style motorcycle, but it gets alloy wheels, 17-inch alloy wheels. According to TVS, the Ronin has been designed for a completely new set of consumers who don't want the typical modern classic like a Royal Enfield or a Honda Highness CB350, if you will, but something which is in the middle of a scrambler and a classic modern classic Roadster, that kind of a design like a Royal Enfield Classic 350. And this one has been designed primarily keeping in mind easy rideability. That's what TVS says. And when you sit on it, the first thing that comes to mind is the ergonomics are quite comfortable. It's got forward set foot pegs. It's got a wide handlebar, quite nice to sit. Should be comfortable to ride around the city, or in case you want to go on a long ride, even then it should be nice. Now the fuel tank shape is more or less a classic teardrop shape, but it's got hints of modernity there. So not really a classic teardrop, but yeah, it's got hint of that retro styling. Side panels again, 1980s inspired Roadster design, so something of a retro styling there. But then if you look at the blacked out wheels, the blacked out engine and the alloy wheels with this exhaust, with this heat shield, that's more neo than retro. Of course, the tires, TVS says, have been designed completely new for the Ronin. These are new block pattern tires by TVS Motor, TVS's sister brand, and it's got a flat wide seats, wide and flat seat, single piece seats for better comfortability, so you can ride it with a pillion on board without any problems. And this one gets, interestingly, a 41mm upside down front fork from Showa, and it gets disc brakes, big disc brakes at the front, at the rear. Of course, single channel ABS and dual channel ABS both as options. Now let's come to the engine. The frame, of course, is a brand new frame. It's a dual cradle split type frame, which you'll see in a lot of older bikes and even new bikes. The dual cradle for added stability. Now TVS is known for making dynamically sound motorcycles, so we don't expect the Ronin to be disappointing on that part. Although it's a classic looking bike, it should be dynamically. We'll of course get to ride it. And the engine and the frame, it's completely new from the ground up. It's a from the ground up new product built on a new engine. It's an over square engine, 225cc single cylinder engine. Makes about 20 bhp of power, 7,750 rpm, about 20 Newton meters of torque at 3,750 rpm. According to TVS, the engine has been tuned for better low and mid-range grunt, so that you can ride it very easily in traffic. You don't need to change gears, go downshift too much. It'll pull very cleanly. That's what TVS says. It will pull very cleanly from low speeds at higher gears, so it's easy to ride even in gradients. So that's the Ronin. The design, more or less a mixer, I would say, between a Roadster and a Scrambler, somewhere in between. It's not a modern classic Roadster, not really a Scrambler in the true sense, but it does look interesting. But how does it ride? We'll get to ride it very soon and tell you all about it, how the new TVS Ronin, of course, feels like. But it's a TVS motorcycle after all, so it gets a whole lot of features. It gets a full digital offset single pod instrument console. It gets the TVS Smart Connect system. It gets ABS modes, rain and urban, the two modes, and a whole lot of connectivity features, including smartphone connectivity, voice assist, name it. So that's about it. Prices, like we mentioned before, it starts at 1,49,000 rupees, so very competitively priced for the base variant, and a top spec dual channel ABS variant with a lot more color options. You still get at 1,70,000 ex showroom. That's the TVS Ronin, the new TVS Ronin. We'll of course ride it, bring you our view of how is it to ride very soon on here on carandbike.com. Keep watching. Thank you.